Mr. Salil Bhandari, President, PhD Chamber of Commerce, my colleagues in the audience, distinguished retired officers, distinguished stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. My predecessor speakers have explained why we celebrate International Customs Day on 27th instead of 26th. The obvious reason is that it coincides with our Republic Day. In any case, it's always a great day for us, and I thought I'll tell you a few things about the customs service internationally and nationally that I have felt about in my last 37 years of service. The customs is one of the oldest recorded services to a sovereign, and as a result, it has a legacy of tradition and values attached to it. Customs deals with trans-border transaction of goods, but the customs fraternity is borderless. There's no border when a customs officer meets another customs officer. WCO, the World Customs Organization, has taken upon itself to declare a theme every year. The idea is that based on that theme, the activities of the WCO will get prominence. So this year they have chosen knowledge, a catalyst for customs excellence. Customs has a crucial role in meeting the demands of national and global economy, and therefore it has to continuously evolve. It has to adopt the working methods and levels of service delivery that is expected of customs internationally. It's a critical time in international trade scenario. Global trade patterns have been redefined to include the developing economies and their contribution to the international trade. We have seen rapid changes in IT infrastructure, as well as, more importantly rather, transport technology. And as a result, these two rapid changes have brought in new business practices. And that's the point, that's the point which I'm making, that unless we continuously upgrade ourselves through knowledge skill, we will not understand those business practices and we will not be able to discharge our duties well. So that's why I think it's very apt that this theme has been adopted. Now, how to meet these challenges? There are two ways. Either we develop innovative schemes, customs procedures, internally, nationally, which suits our national demand, or we adopt internationally certain tools and instruments and then standardize it and uniformly apply to all the national customs administration. But for doing either of this, the active pursuit of knowledge is sine qua non. We can't do without knowledge and upgradation of skill. That's why WCO has identified in the knowledge itself, they have certain quarters they have identified. That is promotion of knowledge, learning, management development, and professional training. Indian Customs dedicates to knowledge-based enhancement of its efficiency and efficacy. India has been a very proactive member of WCO. India's role in various important projects and schemes of WCO, World Customs Organization, is appreciated all over. We had brilliant officers contributing in WCO efforts. We had Mr. G.S. Sahni, He was associated with many things. To name a few is WTO Valuation Code. Then we had working there Mr. Anand Bordia, Mr. LP Asthana, and very recently Shashidharan, Mr. N. Shashidharan, and our commission. All of them have, and there are many more names. There are many more names. I forgot Mr. Ramanan, PRV Ramanan. He was chairman of the valuation committee for a long time, for two years. So there are many more names, and just taking a few on. And all of them have contributed in bringing up India's name in the World Forum. Recently, I wrote an article on 30 years of GATT valuation code in taxindiaonline.com. While writing it, I had to do some research work, and I found that international papers have recognized that but for India's role in bringing in certain changes in the WTO valuation code, please correct me, sir, because you have been associated with and addressing it to Mr. Sahni, sir, that certain changes that were brought in the textual portion to accommodate the needs of the developing countries, that was the reason why finally the WTO valuation, at that time it was GATT valuation code document, was an inclusive document. Most of the developing countries had joined, and that's how it is a successful scheme. India has domain knowledge, not only in valuation, its risk management system is widely acclaimed, then its knowledge in HSN, rules of origin. So, everywhere, wherever India has sent its representatives, and they have spoken well, the people have spoken well about them. Just last week, the Secretary General of WCO, Mr. Kunio Mikuria, who is an old friend of India, he was, prior to that, he was Deputy Secretary General. He rang me up and straightaway asked me if India could provide some insight into the national import database which Mr. Goel Customs mentioned. That national import database and the valuation, how we have tackled the valuation enforcement part. And I readily agreed. And next day I get a letter that the Deputy Secretary General WCO is coming with a small delegation, is coming to India on 2nd of March, I think. And I suggested that you come to Delhi first and then you spend for 2 days in Mumbai because Valuation Directorate is in Mumbai. So such is the importance of Indian customs in enhancement, in upgradation of knowledge, which could act as a catalyst for customs excellence. So revenue collection continues to be our core competency, but we must not forget the overarching requirement of trade facilitation and taxpayer-friendly services. And these days, we are giving a lot of importance. A lot of our resources go into those trade facilitation measures and taxpayer-friendly services. Our aim, just as the aim of the trade and industry, that transaction cost must be minimized. Keeping that in mind, we have taken certain steps. We have modernized our customs administration. We have EDI. Till the other day we had version 1. We are in the process of concluding our migration to version 1.5, which will be a much robust system, and it will accommodate, it will help us to have many more modernization schemes with the help of that robust scheme, version 1.5. I have already mentioned about risk management system. In India it has stabilized. We are now looking forward to implementing PCA, post clearance audit. And once we stabilize both RMS and PCA, then we would like to go in for self-assessment. We have self-assessment in central excise, we have self-assessment in service tax, now we want to have it here. Customs, as we all know, apart from revenue collection, we have a lot of agency functions. We being the one of the foremost border enforcement agencies. And our preventive officers, preventive commissioners, and to top it all, the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence is doing its best to perform that responsibility. Gone are the days of smuggling of gold, silver and all, but the new arenas are coming, new vistas are opening up. We have varieties of contraband. We have fake Indian currency notes. We have drugs, of course, traditional. Then we have environment-sensitive items, the goods, environment-sensitive goods, hazardous goods, as well as environment-sensitive flora and fauna. And then the antiques, works of art and culture. All those things, responsibility ultimately befalls on the preventive agencies of the Customs Department. So, in our quest for revenue collection, trade facilitation, taxpayer-friendly services, we cannot forget our another basic role of enforcement at the border of different laws and acts. I strongly believe that no customs initiative can be successful unless we have a healthy partnership with all its stakeholders. This has been explained in details by Mr. Thakur, the Chief Commissioner, and also touched upon by Mr. Goyal. I will not go into details with it, but this is another essential requirement. And to that end, we have already started our work. And I'm very delighted to see today that the board has decided to honor with WCO certificate on knowledge to not only to the departmental officers but also to the 3 entities who are from the private initiative. I congratulate all of them, and I assure you we would continue with this practice. I wish we could have, WCO has given us only 10. I mean, every country has a quota. I wish we had more number, so I could have included many more, because here itself I can see many faces from the private initiative who deserve this prize for enhancing knowledge. I can see Mr. Vittal here. There are many more persons. So, but then the number is restricted. And I can tell you that the selection that we have made with lot of care, I'm sure you will approve of it. Finally, let all the customs officers today rededicate themselves to the principles of excellence in tax collection, my core competency, tax enforcement, trade facilitation, and taxpayer services. Thank you.